Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Asper Master of Finance information session. We're really excited to have you here and to go through our program and hopefully provide you with the information that you need to make the decision about entering our Master of Finance program. Before we start our session today, I'd like to do a few introductions of myself and also my colleagues joining us at this information session today. First off, I'm Rhiannon Lear-Blatcher. I'm the Manager of Marketing at the Asper School of Business, and I'm also a graduate of the Stu Clark Graduate School. I attended the MBA session, or the MBA program. And so as part of that, I can provide both a perspective on what it's like to be a student at the Stu Clark Graduate School and also providing details about the programs themselves.
My name is Eva Morphy, and I'm the Graduate Program Manager here at the Asper School of Business, Stu Clark School of Graduate Studies. I work with the students in all of our graduate programs here at Asper, so we have 5 at this time, the MSCM and the MFin and the MBA, as well as 2 research programs, the MSc and the PhD. I'm here to guide you and assist you through the application process, and then through all your academic needs and issues that may arise while you're in the program, all the way through graduation, and hopefully beyond as well. So thank you so much for being here and joining us for this session.
Hello, everyone. My name is Farva Zedi, and I'm one of the graduate career consultants here at Asper. I work with the Masters of Business Administration, Masters of Finance, and Masters of Supply Chain Management students to help them reach their career goals. Welcome, everyone.
Fantastic. My name is Olawale Liro. I work in the same role as Fawa as graduate consultant for the Asper School of Business, working with students in our professional programs, MBA, Masters of Finance, and Masters of Supply Chain and Logistics. We work with you throughout your program from when you become a student of the Asper School of Business, throughout your program, exploring potential labor market opportunities, and even when you become an alumni. And I'm looking forward throughout this presentation to talk about how the CDC can be of benefit to you.
All right, thank you, Farva, Olawole, and Eva. This is one component of our great team here at the Stu Clark Graduate School that are here to support you through your journey within the program. So now I'm going to quickly share our screen and we'll go through starting with the agenda for our session and providing you all the information that you require for the Master of Finance program. So for our agenda today, we're going to quickly discuss Winnipeg, Manitoba. Just to give you a sense of place, some of you may know the city and be from here, but many of you may be from different parts of the world. So we want to give you a sense of place. We'll speak a bit about the Asper School of Business. We'll talk a bit about the Master of Finance degree and the benefits of taking a Master of Finance. We'll speak about our MFin program components, and then Eva will cover the admission details for the Master of Finance program. So to give you a sense of place, we're located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, which is the geographic center of Canada and North America. We say that just to give you a sense of place. One of the things, if you look at North America, they actually call us the heart of the continent if you look at where our city is located on a map of North America. Our population is about 850,000, which is a good size for great opportunities, but not too big to have you stuck in traffic jams as you head to your classes or to your careers here within the city. Our average summer temperature is about 25 degrees Celsius, and our average winter temperature is about -12. And we mention that because we are a city with some distinct seasons, with individuals here really taking advantage of the winter during the winter months, being skating on our river, which is known to have one of the longest skating rinks in the world, cross-country skiing, doing other outdoor activities, or in the summer, taking advantage of the many lakes that surround us here. We're very much an outdoor community with some distinct seasons, which makes it a really great place to live. We're also very multicultural here. There's more than 100 languages spoken in our city with many different individuals from all over the world and different communities and welcoming communities here in Winnipeg. Another thing that's really important with our city is we are very cost competitive. You can see that we're one of the most cost competitive cities across all of the US and Western Canada. And while this statistic is from 2016, I know there's a new report coming out, and we continue to be at this place in terms of the cost of living here, housing costs, monthly rent. And you can see here in terms of our city compared to some of the other larger cities within Canada, such as Calgary, Toronto, or Vancouver, our rental cost is much less, which definitely allows your investment into the program to go a little further, because you can afford both your living costs here as well. The Asper School of Business, we are home to, we have a strong history and background here. We are home to the Bachelor of Commerce program, which is our undergraduate program with a really long history and very, it's actually quite a prestigious undergraduate program at the Asper School of Business or within the University of Manitoba. And many of our graduate or undergraduate students will eventually go into our graduate programs. We're home to the MBA, the Master of Finance, the Master of Supply Chain Management and Logistics program, and then also the Master of Science and PhD degrees in business. A key part as well about our professional programs is they're part of the Stu Clark Graduate School, which was renamed in 2019 thanks to a $10 million investment from our alumni, Stu Clark. So the reason we mention this is there are a lot of good investments, like outstanding investments going into our graduate programs thanks to this investment, including building upgrades, an entire 5th floor of our school being upgraded for professional graduate students and graduate students as a whole. Along with that is support for students if they participate in case competitions or they do any travel for our school. This is covered by our school thanks to some of the investments. We also have outstanding fellowships and other opportunities that are a result of the strong investments in our school. We're home to the Career Development Center, which Farva and Olawole will speak about as we come to that point in the presentation. The Career Development Center is outstanding for all of our professional graduate students. It is about, when entering the program, it's not just about the academic degree that you end with, which is outstanding, but it's also about the career advancement that you gain through the program so that you're ready when you go to an interview or apply for that career that you're looking for when you graduate. You're ready to nail the interview, to really impress the employer, the potential employer, and help you attain that degree. And the great part about being in our programs is, even as an alumni, when you graduate from the program, you have the opportunity to work with the Career Development Center through your career. So even say 5 years after you graduate from the program, you can connect with our Career Development Center as an alumni and reach out to them and get them to look through your resume or prepare you for that interview. It's a long-term commitment that our Career Development Center has. We're also home to the Stu Clark Center for Entrepreneurship, which many of our professional graduate students have an interest in entrepreneurial endeavors. So it's really beneficial within our school here for you and your career goals. We're home to the Warren Center for Actuarial Studies and Research, and we're also home to an award-winning and long history with the Transport Institute, which has a really strong connection to the supply chain and logistics area within Manitoba, North America, and globally as well. So why take an Asper Master of Finance? What does a finance degree do for you? And why is this investment worthwhile? So one of the things that we see with job applicants who have a Master of Finance degree have outstanding career opportunities in the area of asset management firms, hedge funds, mutual funds, working with pension funds, and in firms' treasury departments. This is just a small sampling of the type of careers that you can gain and attain after getting your Master of Finance degree. Really, the career rewards are significant, they're interesting, and they're dynamic when having this degree. But why take our program? Why the Asper Master of Finance degree? So some of the key advantages that we'd like to speak about here is, first off, is we have an accelerated pace within our program. We have the shortest program duration in Canada for similar programs. You can take it over 1 year and 3 terms, 12-month program over 3 terms. And I'll speak about that shortly in terms of how the courses run with that. The other thing, if for you in terms of your career and if you're working through the program, you can also take it in up to 4 years as we have listed here. So if you want to do it right away in 12 months, there's an opportunity. Or if you would like to take it a little bit more part-time while working in the program, you can take it up to 4 years. Another thing that really makes us stand out, and we know that this is really important for all of our Master of Finance and most Master of Finance students, is we are a CFA university affiliated program. So we're the only CFA affiliated MFin program between Toronto and Vancouver. So as we showed you the cost of living data that we had there earlier, also, we are, within the center of the country as well. We're the only one that offers this between Toronto and Vancouver. Another thing that's really key is it's an affordable investment. Our program has the lowest average tuition in Canada, and we offer outstanding financial support, as we'll talk about shortly here. Another thing that really makes us stand out is we now offer a 4-month paid co-op. And Farva will speak about that, and Olawole will speak about that in this presentation. But this is a really great opportunity to gain real world experience while building a professional network, allowing you to really bolster your resume, make connections here in Manitoba. And this is something that allows us to stand out as a Master of Finance program within Canada and in North America. Another thing that's really key is our school is AACSB accredited. So all of our business programs here are accredited by the AACSB. And what this means, this is the world's premier accreditation association for business schools. Only 5% of our schools worldwide receive this designation. To qualify for this, we need strong professors. Our professors need to be published internationally in high-level publications. Our students, when they graduate, we want to ensure they have great career advancement and great salaries. The courses in our programs and the component of our programs have to follow a strict criteria in terms of approaching things with financial proficiency, ethics-based learning, strategic thinking, and a number of components that really ensure that when you're taking the program, you're getting a high quality business education. And this accreditation is that signal that you are. So in terms of the Master of Finance and the CFA, as we spoke about earlier, and this is a really key part of our program. So our Asper Master of Finance program incorporates the CFA body of knowledge, and we've mapped about 85% of the CFA program candidate body of knowledge into our curriculum. And we hear that when students take the program and then they go to take their CFA exam, they really have noted that they're ready and prepared, that the courses and the way they've studied has prepared us to ace those exams. So our courses and our class allow students to follow the CFA Institute of Ethics and Standard of Professional Conduct. So all the components that go into there. And our program prepares students to write all 3 levels of exams required to obtain your CFA designation, with a real focus on the level 1 exam. So right now, one of the things, and we mentioned this in terms of that investment in our school has recently, and the graduate programs, for instance, have gone through a major upgrade. The entire 5th floor of the Stu Clark Graduate School has been revised and updated. One of the really nice things and a unique thing about the University of Manitoba is we're one of the oldest schools in Western Canada. So if you go on our campus, there's a real mix of older buildings that are over 100 years old and more modern buildings. And we're in one of the sides of the more modern, especially in our graduate program. So I'm going to just switch screens here, and we have a little 3D tour of our graduate school that I'm going to just quickly launch here for you to just a quick sense of what it looks like within our school. And I'll launch this here. All right, so this here, actually, just to give you a sense, this is the main floor of the Asper School of Business. Our school is about 6 floors high. You can see here lots of natural light in the beginning, or in the school itself when you come into it. And I'm just going to go quickly to the 5th floor, which is where the Stu Clark Graduate School is located. We have brand new classrooms, and we'll show you this here. You'll see this as we go. There's an overview of our entire school here, but this here is one of our brand new classrooms up in the Stu Clark Graduate School. There's lots of natural light, as you can see here. There's actually a view you can see campus as you're sitting in class. This was taken in the winter, so you can see snow on the buildings. But our school in this room has brand new audio video equipment, giving you the ability to connect. There'll be presentations at different times where you're connecting with different people from around the world. And this is one of our largest classrooms specifically for the Stu Clark Graduate School. Another thing that has been redone for our program is we have specific study carrels and meeting rooms for our graduate students. And you can see here, this is one of them. We have about 4 of these or 3 of these up on the 5th floor. They have nice soundproof barriers, spots for you to meet with your classmates. And then these classrooms here, you can book them out, and it allows you, a lot of the times within the graduate school, you have presentations and you can hook things up and prepare for your presentation. And also too, we have these new offices here, and this is actually where Farva and Olawole offices are. So there's that really close connection there. And then finally, we have a brand new graduate lounge here. And this is specifically for our graduate students, but all within the MBA, Master of Finance, and Master of Supply Chain Management and Logistics program, including our PhD and MSc students. So this classroom here, or this graduate lounge here, allows you to come between classes. You can meet with your classmates. We actually have a really nice kitchen in here where you can store some of your items in there. And within the kitchen, we have a brand new coffee maker. On here, we'll usually have Bloomberg News and things like that. So just a quick view of what it's like and it looks like within the building. And the nice thing about joining our program right now as a graduate student is you're entering a brand new wing of our school. So I'm going to stop sharing this and I'll go back to our presentation here as well. Now that we've spoken about our school and about our location and about some of the benefits of the program, I'd like to just briefly speak about the Master of Finance curriculum and some of the courses within the program. So when I mentioned before that if you decide to take the program full-time in 12 months over 3 terms, this is what the 3 terms look like. Within term 1, which would start in late August, you start the program with 2 boot camps, as they call it. There's a basic quantitative analysis for management and an IT seminar. These 2 courses, or these 2 things, you take a test in the beginning and you can test out of them. If you get a high enough score, you don't have to take the course. Same with the IT seminar, which is very much focused on Excel. The great part about them is I know for myself with an MBA, as an MBA student, I had to take these as well. And I found that while I didn't immediately pass the Excel component in the IT seminar, the little mini course that was part of that was really helpful. And we know within the Master of Finance program, there's extensive use of Excel and a lot of the tools and tricks within that program. So it's very helpful to set you up for success in the program. Also within the first term, you have 3 career development seminars that Farva will speak about coming up here. It's about resume writing, interview skills, even mastering and fine-tuning your LinkedIn profile, so that while you're in the program and when you're ready to graduate, you're ready to launch into your career. The key courses in the first term are managerial economics, corporate finance, and then readings in accounting and finance, so a mix there. You'll have a break during the Christmas break, as we call it, or the winter break. And you'll start in term 2 at the beginning of January with accounting fundamentals, international finance, alternative markets and instruments, and then investment policy. And then you'll finish off the program with term 3, which will run from about May until August, with the 4 courses listed here. So you can see many of these courses are listed on our website if you'd like to dive into some of the details in each one of them. But there's a real mix of really quantitative focus to also the ethics and the behavioral side, the international side of some of the components within the Master of Finance program. So it's a great mix in ensuring that when you do graduate, you have that really strong, broad background that you need for your career in finance and also for the CFA program. So now that I've spoken about some of the details, we're going to move over to the experiential learning opportunities within the Master of Finance program. And a key part of that, as I've mentioned previously, is working with the Career Development Center. So I'm going to pass things over to Farva Zaidi here, who will speak a bit more about the Career Development Center and the components within the program.
Thank you, Rhiannon. Hello, everyone. I will be talking a bit about our experiential learning opportunities at Asper. But first, let me just give a brief introduction to the Asper Career Development Center, which is more commonly known by its acronym CDC. So the CDC is your point of contact for all career development needs, questions, and supports when you get accepted in the Masters of Finance program throughout your time at Asper, and even when you become an alumni. The graduate team at the CDC consists of 4 dedicated staff members. between my colleague here, Olawole, and myself, 2 career consultants, a business and professional development consultant, and the director of the CDC and co-op programs, who supports all Asper career development initiatives. So we believe that career development is a lifelong process of learning, self-discovery, and decision-making that brings you closer to your ideal job, skill set, and career satisfaction. So the CDC team here is committed to help you thrive each step of the way, whether you want to grow in your career or level up in your area of specialization. Your graduate CDC team is here to help you navigate labor market demands, occupational options, and translate your career and academic success into a career that suits your personality, skills, and interests. So we can help you shape your career through assessments, helping you identify unique interests that you may not have known are there prior to starting your MFin program, short and long-term career options, and develop goals for short, mid, and long-term career success. The CDC offers extensive guidance and counseling through personalized coaching and group workshops sessions, which are also known as career seminars. We cover employment preparation aspects such as resume writing, cover letter writing, LinkedIn optimization, interview preparation, and job search assistance. The CDC develops work-integrated learning opportunities in the form of strategic full-time, part-time, or project work that is relevant to your career goals. Additionally, the CDC coordinates and hosts several recruitment and networking events throughout our, the academic year, offering graduate students the opportunity to connect with businesses, develop their professional network, and explore labor market opportunities. Most of these opportunities have been remote in the past, but we are now bringing in-person opportunities as well to make networking and labor market explorations more meaningful for our students. Next slide, Rhiannon, please. So in terms of co-op, a competitive advantage our Masters of Finance program has is our co-op option. Co-op is an experiential learning program that offers you the opportunity to use your academic knowledge in professional, productive work environments, all while you get paid and earn academic credit. The co-op program provides an opportunity to explore career paths, professions, industries, companies, and build a professional network to either kickstart or to advance your career. Master's co-op offers one paid 4-month work term. Graduate students will leave Asper with 4 months of paid work experience and an exclusive access to Manitoba's top employers. Co-op students benefit from extensive professional development training and support through individual coaching and group workshop sessions to hone skills in resume writing, job search, interviewing, and workplace preparedness. I want to mention that while this is an extremely beneficial experiential learning, it is optional for our Masters of Finance students. There is a $5,000 fee for co-op, and we do estimate that Master's co-op students typically make $20 to $25 per hour during the 420 full-time hours of co-op term. So not only is there financial benefit for students, but the competitive advantage of developing meaningful and significant Canadian work experience is phenomenal as well. Next slide, Rhiannon, please. Right, another value-adding program option in the Asper graduate program is the Asper Graduate Mentorship Program. The Asper Mentor programs connect Asper MBA, MFin, and MSCM students with inspirational leaders in Winnipeg and across Canada. Through group or individual one-on-one mentoring, this flexible program will allow students to build leadership skills, receive career guidance, and develop a network of business leaders. Asper mentors are senior level executives and highly skilled managers representing diverse professions and companies and industries. These mentors act as advisors and role models to Asper graduate students as they look to launch a new career, make a career change, or just familiarize themselves with a new region. Through the mentoring experience, students gain guidance and feedback on developing their leadership skills, information on industries or functions, and insight into business practices. The mentorship program does not earn you academic credit, but it is recognized for co-curricular record, the CCR. The CCR is an official document issued by the University of Manitoba that summarizes each student's participation in university-approved activities that support holistic development. So we look forward to receiving your application and welcoming you to the Asper School of Business Career Development Center.
Thank you, Farva. It's wonderful. All right, so now that we've spoken a little bit about the Career Development Center and all the outstanding benefits that come with being a student here and that opportunity, we also want to speak just a little bit about some of the other experiential education options. One of them is the opportunity to compete in student competitions within the program. So there are a number of competitions that we compete in as a school, both nationally, globally, and it allows our professional graduate students to come together as a team, are given cases to study and to work on and to present on. And it allows you to build a great network, to feel very involved as a team, and to apply the learning that you've gained in the program in competitions. The great part about this is there's a number of competitions annually. We have a coach along with a lot of the times we'll have alumni, coaches, and mentors that will help students through this and prepare you to compete for the school. The great part about it as well is anytime you do compete as one of our students for the program, our school will pay for your travel and any costs associated for competing in these case competitions. A lot of them too will have financial awards. Some will provide different opportunities, different types of awards as a student. For myself, I competed in one of them and there was an opportunity to do this great mentorship program through this Canadian thing that paired us up with great mentors from around the country, and that was the reward and another opportunity to build your career advancement. So this is a really key part of being in the program. Not only the educational components that you receive and you come away with, but some of these experiences that you have that you can add to your resume or to your interview in terms of the different types of experiences you've had and you can reference when you do interview for a role. So now that we've chatted a little bit about that, I think a key thing always for students, and before we get into the admission requirements, just to get a sense of what the average student who applies for the program, what our success rate is for students that are successfully admitted to the program. So when we look at the fall 2021 intake for the Master of Finance program, which was our most recent intake, we look at the statistics here. About 45% of successful applicants were female. Average age of about 27, an average GPA of 3.57 on a 4.5 scale, and Eva will speak about some of the requirements as we move into that. And then an average GMAT score of 630. We talk a little bit about the GRE, which is an option too. That's but the normal test that students will take is the GMAT. So you can see some of the average here in terms of the students that were successfully accepted into the program. So now that we've spoken about those details and about the Master of Finance specifics and our great differentiators, I'm going to pass things over to our graduate program manager, Eva Morphy, and she'll go through the admission details for the Master of Finance program.
Wonderful. Thanks, Rhiannon. Well, I hope you're all interested in the program now. We've shared so many benefits and so many of the positives that that you'll be able to take advantage of if you join the MFin program here. So you're probably eager to learn how to apply, how to take that next step. So I'd like to walk you through some of the admission details and some of the other details regarding the program. So let's head through that. So in terms of admission requirements, we are looking for applicants who have a bachelor's degree. Of course, this is a master's degree, so it would build on a previous bachelor's degree. Your bachelor's does not have to be in finance or even in a business-related discipline. This is a program that does admit students from a variety of different academic backgrounds, and it does start with preparation and at a starting level in terms of the material in the program, so that students, whether you've got a degree in history or engineering or finance, will all sort of start at the same level playing field and progress through the program together. So do keep that in mind. You don't have to have a finance background specifically for this program. And the degree that we're looking for would have to be a 3-year degree. So it doesn't have to be a 4-year specifically. 3-year degrees are accepted. And the minimum admission grade point average is 3.0. We use a 4.5 scale at the University of Manitoba, and we are able to convert transcripts and documents from any country and any institution around the world. So don't worry about doing that on your own. When you submit your transcripts and documents to us, we'll take care of that conversion scale and take care of that calculation for you. So again, minimum 3.0 on a 4.5 scale. That's roughly a B average or a 70% average, if that makes it a little bit easier to compare. And we do a look for the last 2 years of full-time university study that you've done, the most recent 2 years of university degree work that you've completed for that GPA calculation. So we won't be looking at your entire degree. If you've completed 2 degrees, for example, we'll look at the most recent one primarily to convert to that GPA calculation. So it's the most recent 2 years of study that you've completed. The second component that we look at is the GMAT test, as well as the GRE is acceptable. GMAT we see a little bit more often, so we speak about that one a bit more. You would need to have a 550 GMAT to be considered for admission to the MFin program. That's out of 800 maximum score. And specifically the quantitative section, which I'll talk about in a minute, is specifically in that section, you would have to have a 60th percentile score or higher. So we're looking for a combination here of at least 550 overall on the GMAT and a 60th percentile or higher score on the quantitative section. For those of you who have perhaps completed a CFA level 1 exam already successfully, you are exempt from doing the GMAT. So at the admission stage, please provide us with your CFA level 1 completion certificate, and we will take care of that GMAT entrance requirement. You won't have to provide us that test score. We are also looking for some references for you or some recommendations. So these would be either academics, so professors that you've worked with recently, or they could be a professional reference as well. If you're a few years out of your undergraduate degree, they could be professional references, people that you've worked with directly and been supervised by. So as part of the application process online, you will provide the names and the emails for these 2 referees, and we will contact them directly with a form or a questionnaire that they need to fill out about you with some very specific questions. And they'll be asked to submit that form once completed back directly to your application system. Please ensure that you do not submit the reference form for your referee. Don't do it on their behalf. It's very important that they do it individually from their own computer to the application system. It's quite important that you're not involved in that intermediate step there. So please keep that in mind. And then finally, for students who don't have a degree from an English-speaking country, from an institution that has English as the language of instruction, then you would have to also provide an English language test score. There's a number of different scores that the University of Manitoba accepts, and they are listed on our website, as well as the Faculty of Graduate Studies admissions website. But the 2 that we see most often, and I'll mention them here, are the IELTS and the TOEFL. So on the IELTS exam, if that's the one that you're writing, you would have to have a minimum score of 6.5 on the academic module, and the speaking band specifically must be a minimum of 6. And on the TOEFL, if you're doing the online test, you have to have an 86 score on the TOEFL with a minimum score of 20 in each of the reading, writing, listening, and speaking categories of the test. Admission deadline. So this is the very important thing to keep in mind as well. We have 1 intake per year for the MFin program, and it's in August. It's in early August. We call that the fall term. And if you're an international student, the application deadline is March 1st. For domestic applicants, the deadline is May 1st. And obviously the deadline for international students is a little bit earlier because you have some additional steps to go through in terms of applying for a permit for a student visa once you're admitted. So that extra time has been built into the application process. Keep in mind that these deadlines are the dates by which you must have a complete application submitted to us. So this is not the date to start and open your application, but it is the deadline date to have all of your application documents into us. So your transcripts, the references have to be submitted by the referees, as well as your GMAT score. All those pieces must be in by that date to be considered for the next intake. Tuition and fees for the program. This is an important component, part of the decision-making that you'll be taking on. So domestic students, the total program cost is $32,000. For international students, it's $38,000. So there's a slight differential fee charged for international students. If you choose to pursue a graduate co-op in the program, which is optional in the MFin program, that's an additional $5,000 co-op fee. But as Farva mentioned, of course, when you're on a co-op term, you're earning 2 to 3 times that amount while you're on your co-op term. So it more than covers the cost of the administration of the co-op program. And the books and materials that we estimate for the program are about $1,500 overall. So we do have scholarships and various other forms of financial support for students while they're in the program. There's scholarships for students who are writing CFA exams while they're here with us. There's some subsidies available for those. And we do have some scholarships for students as they complete their CFA exams as well. We do have bursaries for students who have a financial need that they can demonstrate. So bursaries are based more on the financial need of a student rather than the academic achievement of a student. So that's important. There's quite a bit of bursary funding available at the U of M for students in this program and all others as well. And there's some entrance scholarships that we do offer as well. So for international students specifically, there's the IGSES entrance scholarship. This is awarded to all students admitted with a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Again, that's on that 4.5 scale. And the award is approximately $6,000. And that's paid out to you in 2 installments over the program, partially in fall, partially in the winter of the MFin program. We do also have entrance scholarships targeted specifically to students who have Canadian degrees and are self-funded as they enter the program. So the top 15 students entering that meet this criteria with an admission GPA of at least 3.0 are eligible for a $15,000 fellowship that would be paid out in installments over the course of the program that they're here. Now, if you are a U of M graduate, there are some specific advantages around the GMAT exam. So I mentioned previously the GMAT waiver for CFA level 1 charter holders. So this is something additional or different, a different way to achieve a GMAT exemption at admission. So if you have attended U of M and have taken courses in finance specifically, you could be eligible for the GMAT waiver. So you would have to have a grade point average of 3.25 or higher in the last 60 credit hours that you've completed at U of M, plus a B+ in corporate finance, or admission GPA of 3.25 and an average of 3.5 in 4 finance major courses that you've completed in the last 5 years. And the sampling of some of the course numbers that are available are here. So you don't have to be an Asper student necessarily to have taken these courses. You could be a student from another faculty where you're doing management as a minor, for example. So these are some opportunities for a GMAT waiver if you've done quite a bit of work in finance already and performed well. Now, for Asper graduates specifically, in addition to the option of the GMAT waiver, if you've taken those specific courses, there is also a possibility of a couple of course exemptions or course waivers in the MFin program. So if you took financial modeling or behavioral finance in the last 5 years of prior to starting the MFin program, and you achieved at least a B in each of these courses, you'll be exempted from taking this course at the graduate level in your MFin program. So it saves you a little bit of time as you go through the program as well. Okay, so GMAT exam, I mentioned this a little bit briefly a second ago when we were talking about admission requirements. So the graduate management admission test. This is a admissions test that's used by most graduate programs in business around the world, certainly the ones that are accredited through AACSB, which are sort of our comparator schools. And we do require it for all of our graduate programs here at the Asper School of Business. So it is a test that you write at a test center. I believe for the most part, most test centers now around the world are open. There were opportunities to write the test online at home during the pandemic. I don't know for sure if those are continuing when things open back up, but test centers are available all around the world. If you go to the MBA.com website, you'll be able to find the one closest to you. There's test centers in pretty much every country around the world. You can find the one closest to you, find a date and time that's convenient for you, and you can register for the test right online through MBA.com. Through that website, they also provide you with a number of resources to prepare for the test as well. So you don't have to walk into the test blindly or unprepared. There's a number of books that you can purchase that will take you through sample questions and practice exams. When you register for the GMAT, the MBA Admission Council will provide you with a couple of sample tests for free as well. So you can run through an entire test kind of at home, sitting in a controlled environment and go through the whole 3-hour test to see how you do and give yourself a little bit of a benchmark and see where you need to prepare in terms of whether it's the quantitative skills or the qualitative skills that you want to spend more of your study time on. Most of our students spend somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks, a couple of months preparing for the GMAT. So factor that timeline into the admission deadlines so that you have time to prepare for the GMAT, write the GMAT, and meet the admission deadlines as they come up. The test is $250 US as well. I should mention that there. And we do allow students to write multiple times. So what we do is we accept the highest score that you submit to us. You can write it multiple times to get the score that you wish. There's usually a short sit-out period between writing, so you can't sort of write it the next day. You have to sit out a couple of weeks, but certainly the opportunity is there to rewrite if you're not happy with your score the first time around. Now, in terms of the test itself and the components, there's 4 sections specifically to it. The analytical writing assessment is an essay section where you're given a particular question or problem to discuss and write a short essay about. There's an integrated reasoning section with 12 multiple choice questions. And then the 2 key sections that factor into your score out of 800 are the quantitative reasoning and the verbal reasoning sections. These are quite important. So one focuses very much on your current mathematical skills, data sufficiency, problem solving. And then the second section, the verbal reasoning, will focus on your reading comprehension, critical reasoning, sentence correction, your grammar, your ability to use the English language. So those 2 are the really key ones that factor into your score of 800 and are the ones that we focus on the most as we review your application. So I think from my end, that covers everything in terms of the admission requirements and hopefully answered all your questions that you may have. Feel free to email us at this address here, asperprofgrad@umanitoba.ca, with any further questions that you would like us to address. And we really look forward to your application.